Alright, muting.
Welcome tonight. On this May 25th, we have two teams entering into the Overwatch Champions, Inglorious versus the Hive, with our caster all at the ready, and we're already rolling into Lee Zhang, and I'll let them take it from here. Take it away, guys.
Alright, my name is Klutchki, and joining us here on the color as well as Flaming Potato. Cajun Wise Guy may join in as soon, may join in here and there, but so Lee Zhang Tower for the Overwatch Champions match between the Hive and Inglorious. Earlier today, if you see the premiere, earlier today, the Hive going up against Havoc, winning 3-1 on their match, and now the Hive looking for the doubleheader victory, coming up against Inglorious. And already we start off here on Lee Zhang Tower, just waiting for players here. Now they're going to reset, rather. So I pretty much called that earlier, but they were just in they were just in practice mode for a little while, but now we're back on their skirmish mode, rather, I should say. But here we go with the regular assembly. So what are we looking for? We saw the Hive earlier, so guys, what are we looking for Inglorious to try and take away a win from the Hive?
You know, what we saw from Hive, they're just hardcore deathball. And I think we're going to keep seeing that here. It's going to be, let's face it, Inglorious is a little bit of an underdog on this one. So, here we see, you know, Hermes is on his Rhine. He did a good job there. We've got Banana on Soldier, and they're going to be matching up against, it looks like Tiny on Rhine, but they're going to be running a Hanzo. It's going to be Hanzo and Farah versus a Soldier and Reaper.
Okay, well, it looks like we got the Farah we were looking for, which was missing last game. Am I right?
5.
But I'm wondering if Banana is not gonna shut them down. But let's see.
1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Alright, yes, we do see that Farah coming from Cole on the Inglorious. So here we go with our first map in Lee Zhang Tower here in the garden. Already starting off. Here comes Tiny with that Reinhardt coming in. Already trying to get the end around there with his Reinhardt. Already getting a tackle on, but pinning no one. Actually pins Banana out. Tash is going to get the boop on Hermes, and I believe that may be off the map as well. And already Inglorious pushing back the Hive already. Point unlocks in 3 seconds, and it looks like Inglorious already going to capture this point with ease. 3 people on it. They get the first strike here on the garden of Lee Zhang Tower. So already pushing back, Inglorious gets the first strike. So Hive with the strikes that we know on control maps. This is what the Hive does. They may lose the first point, but right after that, it becomes a tug of war. McStokes gets the kill, trade for trade on the character with Stephen Klein on that Zarya. McStokes still going off here on this team fight. So like I said, a tug of war, but it's the Hive that wins this end of that war, getting their strike on the point.
And the Hive building also slowly, slightly in advantage versus the Inglorious. Wonder if they can get the point next push. Don't think so, but let's see.
Alright, let's see how this plays out here. Already contesting it. Tiny Areola's already done in by Fun. And Artisan coming out with a coalescent, a bubble of his own. So Hermes also getting a fire strike on Kaya and McStokes on Eco. So a good push. Once again, a quick and a brief, but a great defense by Hive on this point.
Yeah, taking this point really relies on tank play. It's a small area. You have to push in. The Zarya has to really bubble and work with the Rhine here for Inglorious to be able to make any meaningful presence and stay on this point.
And Artisan coming here, already a res here from from Shinigami onto Tash here. Hermes comes. Here comes the Rocket Barrage for Miko. Gets a double kill on Dynamic Beat and Hermes, but the Visor coming in now for Banana. See if he can get anything. There's 1 kill on Tash. Not much else. Banana's just gonna push out Inglorious. So Banana getting that last kill on Stephen Klein. Kaya, Storm Arrow on Fun, but it's not gonna matter. Once again, Hive pushing back Inglorious on this point. So a little more one-sided here coming onto the point. Inglorious may have taken it faster to start this game, but already 72% in, and the Hive still got this point cleared out.
Graph coming up for Maxtukos? What a nice name. That's a funny name. Let's see what they're gonna combo with it. I'm expecting a graph Daft Blossom.
Yeah, the key component of that combo, they had Kayai was in the back of the point, and he, instead of withdrawing, he stung around and he staggered the team.
And a lot of ults being used here at the same time, trying to get rid of the overthrow. Kaya with Dragon Strike, but not going to happen here, as the Hive is going to clear out the point, a team kill, and already that's point number 1 for the Hive, a quick one, 100-24 in favor of the Hive, so they've got the advantage going into our next map here on Lijiang Tower.
Score 1-0.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of missing the Mercy pocket too. If I'm I was wondering like therefore was ulting, got a double kill, but it was not pocketed by the Mercy. Mercy was just so outpositioned, not near enough. It's very confusing. But I mean, you don't have to win to get good. Like it can be also like a nice experience. So I hope they learn a lot from this.
3, 2, 1.
But right now, the tank play for Hive is just absolutely dominating the tank play on Inglorious. And that's really taken away all the opportunities that Inglorious's DPS could even potentially use to engage.
And we're here now, right in the tower here on Lijiang, trying to get this point out. Inglorious trying to come back here. Fun already starting off with a kill on Tiny. Banana coming on Kaya as well. The Shinigami trying to get the res, and it's successful right before Fun kills him. So gets the res, but it's a 3v2 on the point right now, and it's in favor of Inglorious trying to push them back. We saw them get the first strike on the point, hit back on the garden. We'll see if they can get it here. Fun's gonna get a kill though, and that's gonna lead the Hive into the first strike here on the point. So a good push here by the Hive, starting off 3 players already on Fun. You see McStokes, Fun, and Banana already all on fire. Right now, victory is in the Hive's hands. It's up to Inglorious to try and take it away from them. So Rally comes out early for Tash, trying to get more heals and more armor up here for Inglorious. We'll see if that happens. Tiny with a good fire strike on him, and Artisan with a kill on Tash to start off here. So 1-for-1 trade. Shinigami gets the res on Tash. Here comes the coalescence though from an Artisan. We've seen him use it well. Eco and Kaya shutting down everything though. The Deadeye from Eco coming handy on Banana, and that's going to clear out the point. Inglorious gets the strike, so now they're on the winning side of the tug of war there. So a good push by Inglorious to take the strike.
I like this push by Inglorious. They came in, and what was critical was that Tiny did not go YOLO deep into the Hive territory.
And a good Earth Shatter by Tiny already to start them off. They're pushing them back. Uh-oh.
That though.
Kaya is... We got an injury on the field here.
We got an injury from the team that was actually doing that.
Yeah, they was actually doing something.
Yeah, so Inglorious comes in, pushes them back all the way to the Hive spawn. Kaya gets a kill on Dynamic Beast. Then his game crashes. His or her game crashes. Then, but as you saw, just before that pause, Tiny coming with an Earth Shatter, actually getting 2 people and 2 kills at the same time on both Hermes and Fun. So that may shake up how the Hive plays is coming into what our next fight could be after the pause is out.
Inglorious started off a little rough here. Let's not hide this fact. But they've settled down, and there's nerves here. You're playing your first game, possibly. You know, it's a little late in the night, and you're getting into your groove. So I just saw that Tiny was kind of doing some YOLO charges into areas that were questionable, and he was getting punished for that. Well, once your tank goes down, all that sustain, all that space, you know, we mentioned this. Why do they create space? What does that mean? What it means is that you're buying your DPS time to maneuver, time to get off some nice shots. And without that space, without that time, their DPS couldn't really do anything, and the Hive constantly shut them down.
Yeah, and we saw earlier too, Hive was the one doing the shutdown there, and we saw Fun on that Reaper earlier, getting the kill on Tiny earlier on the tanks too, on Steven as well, and they, with that, like you said earlier, getting the tank push 100 to 24 on the first point. So it seems like Inglorious has found the formula to try and get that out, and it looks like Ecole's going off as well. You can see on fire Tash and Ecole going off. So really, is that combo helping out Inglorious, trying to push back the Hive here?
I think it is. I mean, once they get back their sixth, they're going to need to come all the way back to the point. And you're looking at the Hive. They're gonna be rolling in with 4 ults here, so they can definitely run Zarya as a good combo. You've got Reaper. They have a lot of weapons at their disposal to recapture this point, if not just outright fight them. If their 6 is not able to get back to point in time to help with the team fight, that's the big danger. Inglorious could find themselves 5v6. And that's going to take some heads-up awareness, because if you know you're 5v6 and you know you're going to win this fight, don't fight. Just pull back and wait for your 6 so that you're not giving them free ult charge. And yeah, there's an argument to be made, well, we could run up some percentage on the point, and I get that. But that little bit of percentage might come at a huge cost of you losing your point.
Well, to be honest, I think that it's already too late for that. They already got their. They will just have it like soon enough. Don't worry. They have their ults in 10 and in, let's just say 30. And let's be honest, Reaper gets his ults very, very quick. So it's in my opinion, it's too late.
It's gonna be.
See if Kaya can come back, because she came back and then she disconnected again. So
yeah.
Tension.
They might need to make a call to the back bench. Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. And actually, as I'm watching this chat right now, actually one of our producers here, one of our analysts here, looking to maybe jump in, but I don't think that's allowed in the rules. But anyways, fun fact, while Kaya gets back into the game here, fun fact, next Shinigami here playing the Mercy here, like an angel, but actually for those that don't know, Shinigami in Japanese means Reaper, so a little bit of a strange play on the Japanese word there. Shinigami's playing your Mercy.
I thought the exact translation was Death God, right?
Yeah, Reaper or Death God, that's what it generally means, but it's kind of weird seeing Shinigami playing a Mercy of all things, so really it's one of those kind of like ironic things going on here.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I like the name Banana, because why not?
Because why not? Banana, why not?
Starting again.
Alright, we're back from the pause here, and already you can see Tiny again pushing back the team. So Inglorious is going to get a few more takes, tying it up at 32 in just a couple of seconds here. So already the Hive pushed back all the way. Kaya back, so we'll see the internet. I guess her internet crashed, so we'll see how that affects her in any way here. Also losing out on an ult as well after the disconnect, so Kaya's gonna be down here, coming into this next fight with the Hive coming in with 4 ults, maybe 5 if one comes in with his ult. Here comes the Earth Shatter though coming in, gets Tash with a Graviton Surge coming out here for Steven Klein. Now is anybody gonna follow up? Tiny, Kaya, and Steven Klein all getting kills there. Fun starts it off for the Hive though, getting a kill on Eco. Shinigami, like we said, Reaper, but bringing back Eco back into the game, and Inglorious with a good defense here to start off their take on here on Lijiang Tower for point number 2.
Excellent use of the grab. They got a lot of production out of that. And as it stands right now, they're able to run the point right up to 85% without a large contest here.
And an early rally here, another pause here, and Kaya leaving the game. Again, I think this is the 3rd time that the internet or the game has crashed on her, so it's a really interesting thing. We may see Inglorious having to bench here if they have one. So Steven Klein actually asking for a sub here if they can get the sub here, but I believe the time limit, I don't know, it's 5 minutes or so, but they're going to try and get in a sub here to play. So Kaya on that Junkrat, or Kaya coming in playing that Junkrat though, if Kaya is subbed in for someone else, how much of an impact is that going to have for Inglorious?
Well, it's going to have an impact. Yeah, it's going to have an impact in that one. You're changing your team synergy. You know, you have been successful. You've taken the point. You've pushed them back to their spawn. You've handled the choke. now the player that was instrumental in being part of that team is no longer there. Now you have a different player. Are you going to see a little bit of a different dynamic? Maybe that player can't run the hero that was in that slot. So now we've got all this little bit of change around here. So it's never a good thing in Overwatch when you have a sub coming in willy-nilly onto a team.
Well, it looks like Kaya's back once again on that Junkrat coming to play here, but it's 5v6, or rather a 5v5 here, 85%. Like, this is going to happen this at 85%, so it's up to the Hive to try and rush this point here. They may not have time. You can see, on the other hand, Dynamic V coming in, the rally coming in, Tash using that very well, capping the point here. Valkyrie coming in, Fun with the Death Blossom, only gets one on Kaya though, so Tiny's gonna and Tiny also getting a tackle on Hermes, so the overtime in favor. Here comes the Graviton Surge though, a huge one, getting 4 players in there, but nobody able to follow up. Fun, the only one getting a kill there, and he's gonna get punished for it as well. Trying to hold this point here, letting the Hive stagger up here, still in ghost mode, but still trying to get it out here. Tiny with trying to get a tackle on, but no, not go with a triple kill here to try and end this overtime, and Inglorious is going to tie it up here on Lijiang Tower.
Whoa there.
Well, looks like we're gonna see another round of Lijiang Tower, which is not what we expected, but okay, we'll take it. Makes things interesting, am I right?
It does, you know, pre-game talk, Inglorious was a bit of an underdog. So, do we have to reevaluate here? We saw a solid run. They pretty much shut the Hive down. I don't know if they found the secret sauce, but it's definitely working for them.
C2 Kaya kind of making an impact there, but really the highlight coming into that final play there was Eco with that McCree, and so Eco's going to stick onto that to see if that actually helps their team out coming into the plays here. So we're going to be here on the final one. Final point here on Lijiang Tower. Actually, the first map was marked. This is Garden coming in to play here, so my apologies for that mistake. But here comes Hermes with a good kill to start. Kaya coming back from that internet crash and crash Fun out of his Junkrat play there. So already we see a lot of players on point. 5 people on point though. And that's going to allow the Hive to get the first strike here on Lijiang Tower's 3rd point. And Dynamic V's going off here as well. Steven Klein going down by the hand of Lucio of the Hive here from Dynamic V's. So really just a great push by the Hive to get the first strike here. Already going up 20-0 here on this 3rd point.
But Kaya already having Riptire as the only one of her team having ult, except now that McCree has one too.
And I swear you're calling everything. Here comes the Riptire from Kaya. Hermes ending Kaya's fun though there. Steven Klein getting the D-Mech there, and Eco finishing off the Diva. The great Earth Shatter coming in, but is punished by Banana. So Kaya's gonna have herself a double kill as well, and that's gonna allow Inglorious to push up here. So like you said, Inglorious coming in as the underdog here, but looking more like a contender, already pushing the Hive here, but they're having a little bit of trouble here with Dynamic V's. Tash finally ending that. Nick Stokes on the point though, so it's going to be a little hard here as they stagger. Shadow Step coming in for an Artisan who also dies there. Anio getting the kill.
I think the Hive is starting to freak out. Their plays and their decisions are not good and not optimal right now. Mora just wasted her ult as she was dying on 10 HP. The Hive has just to step up their game. They cannot waste ult like this.
And sometimes teams can do more by doing less. What do I mean by that? Tiny's doing more by just doing a little bit less. Just keeping that shield up. Just being a big body and not doing a lot. Just forcing the other team to take him off instead of trying to win these fights individually. And then he charges off the map.
Charges off the map, and at the same time though, the Hive getting a 2-for-2 thing, but Fun having his own fun, as we've seen him with that Junkrat coming in. Double kill there, and Banana also getting the double kill, so the Hive regrouping, and it worked as they get their next strike on the point here.
Nice Lucio ult in the grab, making sure that Zarya's Graviton Surge is useless. Great play by the Hive.
And we saw Eco coming in, ruining the junk tire first, followed by a pretty much non-useful Diva ult coming in for the Hive there, but really a good play by the Hive pushing them out. In the end, though, Fun with that Junkrat, as you can see, already getting a kill here. Another junk tire coming out from Kaya. We'll see if that gets destroyed as well. Coming in the back, yep, does get Hermes, so that's the tank out of play, as well as the D-Mac from on Miss Stokes. Tiny getting a kill on Fun, though, so it's Inglorious that's coming in. Cole with that Deadeye, can he get anything there? We've seen him get a few. Eco gets the kill on Dynamic Beast. Tiny getting the kill on an Artisan to a 6-on-1 here on the point. Inglorious is going to survive overtime as they get the point, 99-43 coming into this next push.
Kaya did a great job. I think he really opened it up by getting Hermes out of the picture.
So can we appreciate Ekau now? Ever since he switched from Pharah to McCree, he's actually getting those picks.
He's getting the picks, but now the question is, will this junk tire get the pick? No. So, but it's good. Pure the tank first. Dash also getting the D-Mech on McStokes, so we're looking at both tanks going down here first. Fun gets Tiny though, so it will be a kill. Fun just, I don't think we can say much more about Fun here. Having one on that Junkrat, getting another double kill. Kaya and Ecoldo punishing the Hive though, and Inglorious getting this point. In Artisan though, and Fun getting the kills they need to clear out this point though, so they're gonna take it unless here comes Tiny with that Reinhardt though. Valkyrie or the Angel coming in. Kaya back in the middle of the point. Here comes the self-destruct right outside of the tower, so not a very good one from McStokes there. So a good stagger here, so it's Inglorious versus the Hive. Who's going to use their ult smarter? Who's going to be able to push out? Stephen Klein already proving that Inglorious can do this first. Kaya with a trap kill too. Fun killing Kaya in the process. And so it's still going to be a push here, a little bit of a stagger by both sides. Inglorious is going to have themselves a 3v1 on the point, not noticing Fun to start. Stephen Klein is going to take down the Diva, so that's going to break down the tanks here. A Graviton Surge right outside, and that is going to be it. And it's going to be Inglorious that clears out the point and takes a 1-0 lead away from the Hive. So Inglorious takes point number 1 on the map from Lijiang Tower.
Quadruple kill.
So you see the play of the game there with Fun as the Reaper there, but being Reaper all the time up until that last point with that Junkrat, but it's actually Eco with that McCree, and also a very dangerous Junkrat from Kaya as well, and that allows Inglorious to win that 100-99. And guys, we saw a 99-43 flip with the Hive at the 99, and then Inglorious comes back 43%. We're going to bring in our analysts now, Lynn, Dara, Rian, and Vilo if he wants to join as well. So we have all our color and analysts here. So guys, what did you guys see on your end with Inglorious coming back down 1-0?
Shocker. The DPS because we're going to talk about Tiny in a sec, but the DPS for Inglorious were actually surprisingly very strong.
Very pog.
Yeah, Kaya got lots of value on the Junkrat for some reason. Sometimes she just get random kills, like unbelievable random kills. I remember one earlier on Fun, just in that last little map there, where there's no reason Fun should die to a Junkrat, just shooting towards Orion shield kind of thing, or shooting towards general area. Play behind your shield. Use that to your advantage. There's no reason you should just die to Junkrat just shooting straight line at you.
Spam rat is the best rat.
Exactly. But,
yeah, you know, oh, sorry about that.
Go on.
What I noticed from the Hive is that a lot of the times they would just sit on the point and they wouldn't disengage. Like, you had McStukes on the Diva, and you know the point was already lost. His team was already dead, and he just stayed on the point anyways. So I think the Hive needs to actually back out of the fights here when they're losing them, to avoid feeding that ult charge to Kaya and Iku and the rest of the DPS of the Inglorious.
I think it might be, maybe they're looking down upon this team, or they're just tired. It's one of the two. Maybe they're playing too aggressively because
That's
they think,
my
oh,
point.
we have this big SR difference, but it's actually kind of backfiring, or it's because they already played 5 matches and they're just tired. and they just
That's
wanna
where
win
I'm
quickly.
going. Mental fatigue. You've already gone through a pretty brutal match, and whether you like it or not, sometimes you get mentally locked on a certain thing that was working for you in the previous game. Maybe your shot callers are a little fatigued; they're not working. Your team comp callers aren't there on point. They're just kind of ruling with whatever works, and that's not good enough when you're facing a fresh team that maybe, as Mike Tyson would say, everybody has a plan until you punched in the face. And what did Inglorious do? They punched him in the face, and the Hive did not respond well. So they have to take this moment here, regroup, and kind of look at each other saying, hey, we can win this. We just have to start minimizing our mistakes.
I think the biggest thing that I noticed was the front line of Inglorious was just pretty much purely outplaying the front line of the Hive. I'm not sure if I want to go and call Smurf on Tiny, but Tiny was pretty poggers. So, but from what I noticed, I think just the Rhine play that they had was just, and main tanks carry games. If your main tank is better
Right.
than the other main tank, then you will have a better chance of winning that game. And I think Tiny was just pretty much in a better spot. Not sure if there's anything enabling him or anything like that. I know that Inglorious, or not Inglorious, the Hive was kind of just getting picked and randomly feeding here and there, but it was just front line winning the game for Inglorious.
I don't think he's a Smurf. I just think he might be experienced with FPS player games or games that are similar to Overwatch, because some people just have a talent.
True, but I don't mind if there's a Smurf. It makes things a little bit interesting, especially in a team that's a little bit lower ranked. If as you can see, a lot of their players are lower gold, kind of thing like that. I wouldn't mind if there's a person playing main tank. Just trying to keep the team kind of collected and organized.
And
And let me go ahead and say, oh, sorry.
Traveling
And yeah,
to
just
Route
last thing here before we're
66.
gonna get into this next game. I saw what really enabled Tiny to pop off was the Zarya bubbles, because he would charge in and get the bubble and he'd get the pick and then be able to escape. So having the Zarya there as well and the rest of the main tanks and support line keeping him alive was pretty much what allowed him to just go
And
off
that's
there.
what I picked up on Tiny. He was swinging for the bleachers early, and all they did is they just reined him back and say, hey, look, just get solid singles and doubles and we're good. So that's what he did.
True. Yeah, I noticed Steven at the end there had the kill participation medal and stuff like that. He must be ultra charged all the time. I'll have to watch him more just to see and pick up on him, but good play so far by Inglorious.
Yeah, they got the Reaper, so it's hard to, it just kind of feeds in damage. And if he can bubble correctly. Anyways, yep, gonna hand this back over to the casters now, so.
Peace out.
Alright, peace. We'll see you guys later. So, guys, so they were saying that, like you guys said, Inglorious was coming in with a gold over feature, but we already see them push the Hive back 1-0 already, getting Lijiang Tower after going down 1-0 in Lijiang Tower, now 2-1, winning that map 2-1. So, what does the Hive have to do to try and take this away, and take Route 66 away from Inglorious?
Play
Attackers
together, like
incoming in 30
legit
seconds.
communicate better. Just try to be more of team play instead of going for solo things. You know what I mean? Like I said, they may be just tired or may not be, but what I'm excited to see is the Hanzo Widowmaker on attack. Like, I've seen it in Overwatch League now in Stage 4. I'm excited. I want to see it. Let's see, especially if it now in lower rankings. Are they trying to mimic Overwatch League? Let's see. I'm definitely excited. How about you guys?
Attackers incoming.
I'm definitely excited for this. Here we go. It's going to be
Escort the payload.
Oh shit, you cut
And
off.
Ecole with an interesting move, moving on over from that McCree. So regular from a pistol now, or revolver rather, moving on over to the sniper here on Widowmaker. So we'll see how that works out for them. McStokes moving on top, already playing aggressive, getting the kill on Eco right away as he's low. So no heals there in time. Tiny's going to actually fall off the map as a suicide. So this is going to allow a little bit of a push for the Hive here as they try to get around the first curve here, turn here on Route 66. But it's Inglorious Inglorious rather gets the push on. Inglorious having a little bit of a good defense here to start off though. As they're not allowing them to get around the first turn here. That payload's actually back just a little bit here before they get to this turn right before the side. So a good push here already. Inglorious moving this payload around the first corner. Now it's up to them to get to the next one. That's already starting off with 2 kills on both Hermes and Fun. Out 1 DPS and 1 tank to start off this fight, so they're going to push it a little bit more. Now comes the next important turn on this fight. The turn right before the point number 1 here on Route 66. So some good plays happening here for Inglorious. They're already pushing them back. They're just trying to stagger here as Big Stokes once again pushing up aggressively. Here comes the rally coming from. Here's a Dragon Strike right down the middle of the map. It's not going to get anybody. And Kaya's going to be unfortunate there and not get any kills. But Dynamic V is going off here. Here comes the Junk Tire from Fun. Is he going to have any fun with that Junk Tire? Eco will end the fun there with his Junk Tire. But Inglorious being pushed back just a little bit here as the Hive keeps defending this. Here comes that visor we all know and love from Banana here. It's going to get 1 kill. It's going to get 2 kills on Tash and Eco. The res on Dynamic V is going to push back Inglorious. Hermes with a kill on Kaya to end that team fight, and Fun insult the injury gets Steven Klein. So a good defense by the Hive here, just a few meters out from point number 1 for Inglorious.
Looks like Inglorious got that grab ready, but not really something to combo with it, except if Kaya just gets her ult. If she doesn't die, right? Yeah, and she died. Well...
Oh,
guess they will have to wait a
I swear to God, you're calling everything tonight. Banana gets the kill. Gets the pick on Kaya.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes, so Banana gets the pick on Kaya, so that's going to take Kaya out of play for a little while. So you can see Inglorious very far away from the payload right now. A minute left, so it's the Hive that's pushing them back all the way here. Just pushing it before the before the important second turn here on
But
66.
For Inglorious, it is now win condition. We got Zarya grab, and we got Hanzo. Nice damage combo right there. So I'm expecting the Zarya to be grabbing any point now.
And you can see actually the Hive, because they may know that because the Hive actually more spread out than we're used to. Here comes the Zarya, grabbing 3 people. Here comes the Dragon Strike. There it is, the Dragon Strike coming in. Oh, it gets away in time. Gets away in time, and here comes the self-destruct here. Not going to get anyone there from McStokes, so weird hold there. Earth Shatter coming in, not getting anyone, so weird one there as well. But does get the DMAC on McStokes as well. Eco going to finish that off, so they're going to, so it looks like Dynamic Speed going to push back just a little bit on the reset. And I don't know if he's going to contest this point, but if not, it's going to be the good fight for Inglorious here. He will actually fight the point here, and Artisan's going to try and get the revive here. Dynamic Speed's not even facing it really, but does get it. Here comes the visor from Banana. Fun gets the kill on Tiny. Banana getting that visor out. We'll see if that happens here. Are the bombs happening on Shinigami there too? 5 seconds left to go here, so we will see an overtime up to this point. Good team fight though. Fun's gonna have a kill on Kaya, so that takes out the Dynamics B, also getting the point out on Tash. And so Fun actually going off here, switching from that Reaper to the Junkrat mode, actually helping them. That's going to clear out the point, and I think that's going to be it. No points at all for Inglorious here on their first round. So a huge change of pace. The Hive going in a different way, actually taking away anything Inglorious has got. So what did you guys see there going into the next round with the Hive on their tribe?
I would say missed opportunity. They had the grab, they had the Dragon Strike, they had 3 kills, but they couldn't close the deal. They could not focus down the targets to advance, and they couldn't maneuver up and stop up the exits or the entrances onto the payload. And ultimately, they allowed the Hive to kind of trickle in, and as you noticed, kind of changed up their tactics a little bit, and that trickle in bought themselves some time, and eventually were able to win the fight.
I think the problem was the outpositioning of the Hanzo. He was just way too far when the grab was going on. The dragon just did not reach in time, and it was just a big waste, to be honest. It was sad to see. I mean, we were all excited and waiting for that combo, right? And for them to cap the point, but sadly, the opportunity was not taken, so...
Because normally, that'd be an easy point win. You throw it in, you get 2 or 3 people, and you can clean that up. But
Guys, they're dancing. Please check the Hive
Attackers
space. I
incoming
love it.
in 30
They're
seconds.
dancing around the table.
Are they dancing?
Yeah, they are dancing around the machine.
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
I know.
They're dancing around. They're dancing around. I mean, they may very well know that they could have this.
They're excited.
They're
like, no,
excited to push this point. No
we're
point.
gonna get this one. You screwed us up over last time, but we're getting this one.
4, 3,
And the Hive, let's see if they can push this out. 79.48, 79 and a half meters for this payload to move. So they're gonna get a few meters here as Inglorious not gonna push. Actually, they are gonna push up a little bit further than we saw the Hive start off with. Inglorious starting off on the ground, not on top of the big Burrows building. So they're actually gonna play them on the ground first. And I don't think Dynamics knows that there's no one up top, so he may actually have a flank here to start off. And already charging in, Tiny getting punished for even trying to tackle in, and with Fun getting the kill. McStokes on that Zarya though, as we've seen. Zarya being a wonderful play here for the Hive, getting a kill, and Fun. And I mean, we've seen this in game, in the first game with the Hive. Fun's just having fun out there. He gets the kill on Nico for this team fight. So already around the first turn with ease, they're gonna get around the second turn with ease. And so it looks like the Hive is going to actually push this really far. Inglorious is going to have to get back to this point as fast as they can.
I'm afraid they will not make it.
Steven Klein makes it on time, but Fun gets the kill on Shinigami. They're going to push up this point even more. Steven Klein is dead though, so it looks like the only ones left up to it is Eco and Tash. Dynamics B is going to get the kill on the Tracer, Eco, and on Tash, and that's going to allow them to push the payload even more. They're 3 meters away from it, pushing it even further, and that's going to be it. The Hive gets their kicks on Route 66 with the win.
injured again. Play of the game.
So the play of the game, Dynamics Bees, and I think I have a pretty good idea of where this was.
It was on.
Yep, from the Brigitte, so a really good play here from the Hive. So a good one there. As you can
Slap
see the
away,
card. Oh.
slap away, keep slapping, girl.
Keep slapping away.
everyone.
So a really good play there. So the Hive knocked out from Lijiang Tower, comes back, plays a little more aggressively, and now we're going to bring in our analysts here, Lindare and Rian, as well as the other color, to talk about this game. But guys, Route 66, the map for the Hive to come in and play aggressively to tie this game 1-1.
So, I praise Tiny, and I had high expectations. He played well, and my boy keeps charging to his death.
No
Like,
bubble.
stop pressing the charge button, please. You're just feeding. There's no point in pressing it. There's a few times where he just dies for no reason. Keep your shield up and hold left click. No other way you can play that better. You don't need to charge. Charge is only for usually mobility. There's no reason to actually charge anything. So,
Yeah, he didn't get the bubbles too. Steven in the first game, Tiny and Steven, oh, coordination, beautiful. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He would get the bubbles every time he charged in. This one, anytime he charged in, Steven was like looking at birds or something. I honestly
so
don't
weirdly,
know.
Steven would get to 100 charge a lot. But,
Oh, yeah.
but the thing that I noticed that Steven did poorly was not utilizing the grenade shot. Sorry,
Oh,
enough.
100%.
Your 100 energy, you can easily, that does like 100 damage if it lands.
It's over 100.
correct.
Insane.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of times where he could have easily finished off kills or done things like that if he would have just used the grenade shot more, probably gotten more ult charge out. The thing that Zarya's will do as they get higher is you can use your grenade shot at one ammo. So you can hold left click, and at the last one bullet you have, you can use your right click, and you'll help your ult charge greatly. The stuff like that was what I noticed the most. The DPS didn't really have the space to work with as they did
Yeah.
on the first point, and it kind of just shut them.
Yeah, because the Zarya grenades, right? That's how you build grabs in 20 seconds. Really, that is how you do it if you want to build grabs so quickly. Is use the grenades, and Steven wasn't really doing that at all. He was just kind of going for the laser, and because he is a low rank player. He's just gold right now, around 2,300 SR. So he's climbing. It's fair enough, but tracking it's not gonna be like GM tracking, best thing you've ever seen, like oh my goodness,
Well,
right? So definitely wants to make use of his grenades.
Exactly. If you ever watch Geggery, Geggery actually cannot aim. Geggery is a very poor aim, but the reason why Geggery is good is because of great
Traveling to
aim sense
Hanamura.
and then the utilization of other things in their kit. That's why Geggery can just basically only right click and still be a top 500 professional Zarya.
I
Just
mean,
off of that.
when you got like 8 million DPI, right? Like
Exactly.
it's gonna be hard to aim. She
Yeah.
did like close range on her diva as well. You know, she has good aim there, but it's really hard for her to track.
I do want to chip in here real quick with the Hive on their push here to capture 66. I loved the Moria pick. She played exceptionally well. She got in there. She was aggressive. She healed the right targets. And better yet, she focused down the stragglers and got them out of play. So for me, Moria was key for the Hive taking 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Artisan was just doing really good job of just keeping everyone alive with that burst healing that with Moira and throwing out the pinballs, doing damage, keeping himself healed up and doing damage to the enemy team and keeping his own team alive as they pushed in. That's really what let them win that.
I agree. I think Fun also did very, very well. Since we're paused anyway. I think Fun was definitely Poggers. A very consistent player from what we're seeing is just getting the good kills, getting the good value ults that he needs to get his Junkrat, and winning his team fights.
All right, and before I let you guys go, since we do have a pause, we can hold on to you guys for a little bit longer here. So Inglorious winning round 1, we saw the 2-1 win on Li Zhong, a 1-0 win on Route 66, a more or less easy win for the Hive. So what does Inglorious need to do here on their first push to try and take over Hanamura from the Hive?
They need to enable their main tank, basically. Main tanks carry games because they give space to their DPS, and that comes with if Tiny just does the simple things, holds shield, and just doesn't really die, and Steven gets the good old charge off, the energy charge off of him by bubbling him correctly and properly. I saw them a few times try to do the bubble charge combo, and they'd either have poor communication and they just do it too early or too late kind of thing, or I don't know. There's just no reason to do that. So
Yeah, I noticed that too. I got slightly frustrated about it, but then again, it wasn't just that, so I can't 100% blame it on the Ryan and Zarya.
Yeah, I think if they just keep it simple and they just help enable their main tank, then it'll work. You'll do it well, and they can win off of that.
I go back
Yeah,
to
but-
you can do more by doing less. Don't go for the YOLO charges.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Then in the end, it's all about timing, am I right? But I'm excited for Hanamura and I hope Kaya comes back because I want to see the Widow versus Widow gameplay.
Looks like they're bringing in a support main that's a bit high ranked.
Oh, but Kaya is there, but she's in spectator.
I don't know if they want to play her with how her internet's going, but they have this this intimate person or whatever. They're 3,400, and I'm not sure why. Looks like the Hive isn't really taking kindly to it, even though their average SR is 500 plus higher than the other teams. So I'm not sure if they're just not confident to win this, even though they definitely have the easier higher SR.
All right, so it looks like they're ready to play. So thank you very much, Linder. We'll talk to you after this map. Thank you very much, sir. All right, but in the meantime, it looks like we're going to run off the pause here. So the team comp, and as you can see, Stub subbing in for Banana for the Hive. So we've seen this switch before in their previous games where Banana comes in, plays really well, but then Stub comes in as well and does the same thing. So really a sub for a sub there on Stub, but Stub on that Widowmaker, and Eco going to battle him out with that Widowmaker as well. And also we see Kaya back on that Junkrat that we know, but Fun also having, so a little bit of a trade battle here with this with the characters, a little bit of the same thing. The only difference would be the Zarya and the more sides. Really pretty much the same thing on both sides. Pretty much the same thing. So we'll see who trades off here as we get into the first fight here between Inglorious and the Hive. Inglorious on the move to start here. They're on the first attack. So already Tiny right in the middle of that gate, taking all the hits he can. Eco on Stub, what a hit! But Stub also gets a hit on Tash, but Eco just taking out Stub. Tash is gonna get the revive from Shinigami, but it's not gonna be in time for the revive on Stub. So we will see how that affects, as Stub is gonna have to come back. Takes out the tank. Kaya also takes out the Brigitte, but Fun ends Kaya's fun as the Junkrat here. She's going to go offline for a little while. And Tiny on that Reinhardt, though. We've seen him play really well all series long, and that Reinhardt so far. And they've already got the first take here. We'll see if the Hive can get anywhere here. Stub with a great pick on Shinigami. Stub's going to get on this point, though. Without a team there, he's just going to grab on, try and stall out a little bit, but it's going to be for naught, as we're going to see Inglorious take point number 1 with these, with 2:52 on the clock.
Objective A captured. New defense point. Objective B.
Well, I gotta give credit to Cal. From a distance, he kept damaging his team and already building his wall hacks. So let's see how he's gonna use that. Reinhardt taking out the Riptire.
Yep, Tiny taking out the Riptire from Fun, so his fun's gonna end there. So he's not just a little while. As the Hive is going to have a good, or Hive is going to try and defend this, while Inglorious is going to try and push up all their players upstairs here on the side. Ranch is going to, or sorry, he's going to get a push here. Tiny's going to get the push. Eco gets the pick up on Stub here. And already the Coalescence coming out for Tash here. Earth Shatter from Hermes. Here comes the Junk Fire. Is that going to get anybody here? Going to get destroyed by Stub, so a good pick off by Stub here. So a little bit of a tick here for Inglorious, but it's going to be the Hive that pushes off Inglorious from this point. So a great defense here by Hive here. Inglorious is going to have to reset here, but they got plenty of time left. So what does Inglorious have to do to try and take this back from them with 5.5 minutes left to go?
Well, you need to store up your ults here. I know they haven't been doing a really exceptional job of comboing, but they're aware of it. And so what you want to do is you just need to play it slow here, build up your ult economy, and go for the combo. You've already got the Zarya grab, so now you just need to wait for Riptire, or you need to wait for, well, really, Riptire's the only thing you can combo with.
And a huge Earth Shatter coming out from Tiny there, and giving Kaya a kill on the base, so that's going to help push up. Here comes the Graviton Surge, only getting Hermes there on the tackle, only giving him a little bit of damage, but Tiny's going to punish Hermes here. Stub getting the pick up on Eco, so that takes care of the Widowmaker on Inglorious' side. In the meantime, trying to stall out into Artisan on that Mercy, though. Getting punished by Stevie Klein. The only one on point right now, though, is Dynamic V's, and Fun who gets the kill here. It's going to be Hive that pushes them all the way back. So still 4.5 minutes left to go, but we see the Hive with a good defense, and Inglorious cannot get a tick off here on the Hive.
I like to mention that the dynamic always seems to switch to Mei on 2CP, second point. We had that last matchup, and it keeps working. Thumbs up to that.
Yeah, it's a solid pick, and I see the Hive now. They're ahead in the ult economy. They especially have Mei's. We got a little bit of ult coming, kind of popping off here. Overcommitting to the fight. Overcommitting. Did not need the Diva Bomb there. Definitely the fight was already won. But you have the Mei ult online now, and that's the beauty of 2CP with Mei. That ult right there pretty much guarantees you're not going to lose the point.
Considering that the Hive has a solo here, I just think they should take the Mercy out first and then get to the rest. So I would rather have them go for a flanker like Genji or Tracer, but then again, maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll get it.
Oh, and just as you said, if they'll get it, Eco gets a pick off on Stub. Here comes the Blizzard, going to use it right in the middle of that staircase. Going to get a lot of people here, gets the Mercy, and gets Stephen Klein as well. So Tash, but does not take opportunity of it. Tash and Kaya going to get kills here on the mech as well. And Shinigami gets the revive on Stephen Klein, but here comes the Junk Fire. Is Kaya going to have some fun? She does herself, gets Big Stokes on the D-Mech here, and Artisan's going to get the res on Stub. A huge Earth Shatter though coming from Hermes though, but it's not going to be enough as Eco punishes Hermes for even trying. Another Earth Shatter coming out from Tiny, trying to stall out. Here comes the tackle on Mei though, so going to have a kill on Dynamic Breeze. That takes me out of play for a little while as well. So 4 people on the point here for Inglorious. They may have a very good push here. Tash gets the kill on Fun, so a little bit of a stagger for the Hive here. They're only going to the other. Some back in play though. We'll see if he can get any picks here. Tash and Kaya and Eco working well together to try and get that Diva mech out. And Dynamic B just sitting there with that Mei. Just sitting there stalling him out so that the Hive can regroup here, and it's working well as Eco does get a pick on it in Art. But it's still Inglorious that's holding this point impressively right now. Here comes the Graviton Surge, though, holding them all together. The self-destruct coming in, not getting anybody. Eco gets the pick on stuff. Jump Tire coming out, gets Hermes, though. So still 4 people on this point, but not a single take taken right now by the Hive, by Inglorious, as the Hive is holding this all together. Dynamic B already sitting on that point by Mei, holding it all together. But it's a wonder how the Hive is, how Inglorious is still alive after all this. Stuff finally gets the pick off, switches from that Widowmaker into the Hanzo, working well as he gets the double kill. Tiny gets the pick on the Urge Shatter, so a really good fight here coming on in the middle here still. But again, reiterating, Inglorious has not taken a take yet. But they may still do so here. Fun, the only one on the point, ghosting himself. Here comes the Death Blossom trying to happen. Fun's got 1, Fun's got 2, Fun's got 3. A 4th one on the headshot. Stubbs got himself a kill. And what a hold by the Hive here against
Not
Inglorious.
even a single tick, guys. No sweat, easy. Just easy.
Yeah, this definitely felt like this felt like, you know, Captain's Log Day 3. The fight rages on, and they just could not close the deal.
And guys, that hold went on for as long as 2 minutes as the Hive defended that with no tick on this point. So what does Inglorious have to do coming into the last 50 seconds here to try and take even a tick away from the Hive?
Well, you've got ults to work with. You've got your Riptire, you've got Valk, so you need to open up with Riptire, get a pick, and just ride in on Valk. Damage boost, get grab, follow up.
There you go.
Junk Tire already starting off the fight, gets Kaya, not Dynamic B, so he's good. Stay there, here comes a huge blizzard there that's gonna get a lot of people. Gets Tiny, gets Steven Klein, that's gonna take out the 2 tanks. Here comes the Dragon Strike up top, a little bit too late there. Kaya's gonna get Dynamic Beast, not in time. Shinigami does not get that res in time, so Fun does get the kill on Tash. In the meantime, an Earth Shatter on Eco, that's gonna take him out there. So the Genji play not working for Inglorious either, as Herbie takes it out on Kaya and Eco as well. 2 seconds left to go, and that should be it. Inglorious, not even a single tick. The Hive holding on point number 2.
Exceptional individual play. That's all I can say. This was not organized by team, by the Hive. This was just individuals rolling into point and making plays.
You can even see in this chat too, Kaya acknowledging the Hive for that hold, and we saw that hold. It was just maybe 2 seconds away from taking that first tick, but Hive sticking by it, and we saw Dynamics B with that Mei stalling it out, and eventually, after 3 or 4 pushes, it eventually worked, and Hive was able to push them out. So what does Inglorious have to do to keep them away from this play, as we see Dynamics B staying on that Mei? What does Inglorious have to do to keep the Hive out from even getting a point?
Yeah, I don't know, Potato. I think we're both in agreement. That is a tall order. That is going to be extremely difficult for them to do that.
It's like they cannot deal with the staggering. Well, usually when you have 2 CP, you kind of want to wait and engage all together. Am I right?
Yes.
Somehow they managed to do it just by staggering 1 by 1, and maybe it's because of the Mei that just kept getting, kept staggering, and I'm so surprised they managed to hold that, even though their Mercy was dead. So I can only give credits to the Mei. That's all I can do. So I don't know. I guess they have to deal with that, but then again, I am not a fan of Mei on attack here. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I think it's going to come down to Mick Stokes. He's playing Zarya here, and as we can see, it really worked well for Inglorious, so that's the player I'm going to be keying in on.
see that May already working well, already for the offense, letting them set up themselves. The freeze though happening for May here. That dynamic beat really working that May. Hermes gets the kill on Tiny, so that's gonna take out one of the Reinhardts. Eco with a good pick on McStokes though to start off. But Stub doing the same thing on that Hanzo on Kaya. And Fun actually boots off Shinigami there, and Inarsen with the same on Eco. So Hive's gonna have themselves a good defense here, or rather good push here to start off here on point number 1. As we already see Fun on that point as that Lucio, but Brigitte still in play, not anymore. Stub's gonna take him off with the Storm Arrow. And so a good push here by the Hive. They're gonna have themselves a fast push. We'll see if Inglorious is gonna bring themselves to try and push this, but with 5 people on the point, that's gonna be useless. Inglorious push back all the way. The Hive, 3 minutes on the clock. Take point number 1.
Objective lost.
But right now, Inglorious opting for a Pharah. Going for some burst damage.
Yeah, or maybe to distance themselves from the Mei too. Who knows? Just having that spam damage.
And already we see a team fight up on top. Kaya and Hermes both getting kills for both sides, 1v1. But it's Tash that gets up first by Shinigami's res from that Mercy. So, but back on the point as well. Kaya having that Junkrat though, trying to defend the point. Hermes charging right in, Tash punishing him for it. And a Coalescence coming out from Ian Ornison, trying to get this point, but it's Steven Klein and Tash working well together, still getting this point. And Kaya coming in on Fun. So that may mean another Earth Shatter though, using that all only to get in Artisan, but that is enough to push back the Hive. Inglorious is going to have their good first defense here on the second point.
That may come back to haunt them. Using a Shatter to clean up 20 health on that.
That was overhyped and overkill. I'm not sure about this rally though. I think it's slightly early, but let's.
But Pharah does have Barrage.
Farrah does have Barrage, but coming in as well. Inglorious has 2 ults, coming in with 3 ults with the Mercy, but Kaya with that kill on Dynamic Speed, so that takes out the Mei for the Hive. Here comes the team fight as well. Here, very crucial here. And all we need to notice here, the Dragon Strike coming in right in the middle. There's 2 kills for taking out Shinigami and Kaya, so that's 2 healed, 2 gone. Eco with the Rocket Barrage on Fun, but already contesting the point at the 2v2 here. Hermes and Tiny having a Reinhardt battle, but it's Tiny coming out with a win there. And Steven Klein on that Zarya kill as well. And a Junk Tire coming out for Kaya here, and maybe not getting anybody here. That Junk Tire is going to come over the walls. We'll see if that gets anybody. So Kaya not able to get anything with that Junk Tire, but it's still Inglorious with that good push and the good defense here. 5 minutes left to go on the clock.
And Potato, what are you seeing right now? I'm seeing on defense grab.
A huge waste of the Junk Tire.
Yes, there's definitely a questionable decision there.
Like, you have Junk Tire, you have a Shatter, and you have the Graph. Why? Let's just see how this is gonna work out.
And a huge Blizzard, or you say coming back to haunt them. McStokes getting a Blizzard with Dynamic Speed. Here comes in Artisan, so they're 3 players down already. It's a 6v3 coming into the point. Here comes the sound barrier being dropped by Fun here. Already they've got 5 people on the point. Eco trying to get as many people as he can. There's 1, there's 2. Fun ends the fight though. And Artisan gets it. They only need 1 tick. There's the tick. No, it's just inches away. 4v1 on the Earth Shatter though. Tiny is almost dead. They're contesting it still, so it's still a hold. This could very well be a reflection of what we saw earlier. They're trying to knock him out of the way. The Mei coming in for Steven Klein instead, switching off from that Zarya. Hermes getting 2 kills though, so a good start for them on the Hive push here. 3-1 on the player mode here. But still Steven Klein and Eco on that Tracer, and Mei holding the point here. And a good tackle by Tiny to start it off here. So still on the point, Inglorious holding this point. Like Hive been minute 15 in here. Graviton, not much of it all. They're coming, but it does get 3 people in the process. Stub gets the kill on Shinigami. This still is going. Here comes the Dragon Strike down the middle here to see if anybody gets it. So a bad Dragon Strike going back in. So it's still still Dynamic Beast with that Mei killing him. And Artisan with a triple kill though, so that may very well help them out. The freeze pushes them out, and that's the point. The Hive will be able, the Hive getting their point at the first tick and gets 2 points to win here on Hanamura. Omigoto, the Hive.
Play of the game.
Did you just go weeb mode?
Yes, I did. Omigoto means good job for the Hive. Since we're on Hanamura, play the game obviously here with that triple kill. The Death Blossom on that a huge hold and the team kill for fun there. So a great play on that Reaper.
I think he just stood still and didn't know what happened. He was like, what?
Impressive, if
you
I do
don't
say so myself.
But anyways, we're gonna bring in our our analysts here, Rian and Lynn there. So guys, first game you saw, or first round rather, you saw Inglorious trying their best with the Hive, but the Hive pushing them back, and the Hive on their attack just beating out Inglorious that first take. So what did you guys see from your angle?
Horrible ult usage.
Yeah, it was actual throw. I'm not even joking. The rip tire from Kaya at the end of the fight, that you could have saved that for the grab. You could have literally won that next fight. You know, Steven had the grab, got a big one too. Everyone was in it. No one could move anywhere. Kaya literally no follow up because you used it, and then I really don't know. I did.
Yeah.
What
You
did you-
disappointed
Come on.
me.
Yeah, so something you won't
You're better
see
than this.
at high ranks is a retake like that ever happening.
then
or
again,
any
I
fight
have
like
to
that
say-
lasting.
Kaya's ult usually get destroyed. Like she has to step up her game, considering her rip tires overall. So
They're very linear, but so they would when they're trying to take the first point, they would just throw ults for no reason. So Shatter was used off cooldown, Tire was used off cooldown. So
Yeah.
The second they got it, they just press Q, and you don't need to do that. You're just throwing away your ults. And then,
Really?
unfortunately for Tiny, he doesn't shield the Death Blossom. He actually hits him, somehow knocks Reaper like 60 yards away, and it actually team wipes his team. Whereas if he held shield, then they would have actually just won that point. To be honest, right there, they would have survived the Reaper Death Blossom. Maybe lost like 1 or 2 tops, but they would have killed him. And there's no one spawning for a long time. So pretty throw with the ults. I think if Inglorious figured that out, I think Inglorious right now is actually very strong just without their ults. I think just natural team fighting, I think that they thrive there very well, and that they just figure it out, they'll get it. But for some reason, they subbed out Ico or IQ or whatever.
yeah, I think what you're getting at is basically game sense, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, it's game sense. That's how I was feeling. I was like, should I be nice or mean and say that this drunk tire is completely wasted and there was so much opportunity? I just kept quiet, and then someone said flaming potato, and I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, I think just by themselves though, this Inglorious team is impressive. They do well, but when it comes down to just
Now
using their
entering
ults, if they
King's
just
Row.
figure that out, this will be a very good team to actually play again.
You know what was a pog though? The Mei. I really did like that Mei using dynamic. You know, he had the walls and he was splitting up the team and separating them out, and that really was what let them take point A so quickly. Is they used the wall to split up the team and use it as a smoke screen almost, right? To block that first, and then move in right up against the wall, drop the wall, and then everyone pushes in right there, right? And
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I think he was alone on the point for about 6 or 7 seconds. Dude,
yeah.
Damn. That's all I can say. There's respect for that.
But you guys have fun in there.
All right, so before we let you guys go, Colors, one more thing. So Inglorious now down 2-1 over the Hive to take this to game 5.
Use ults properly.
Yep, coordinate ults, 100%, right? If you have multiple ultimates, don't just go, alright, everyone press Q. No.
Yeah.
No. Communicate that you're gonna use your ults.
The second
And
they get
then-
ults, they just use it. It's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Right? Like you have
Attackers
Shatter and Tire,
incoming in 30
but then someone will
seconds.
just use Tire and throw it away, and then you'll use Shatter to kill 20 HP Moira that's trying to get away from the point, right? When you could Shatter and then Tire everyone who's shattered and kill everyone at once. I don't know.
Does look like they're changing their comp though. They're gonna bring out a Zenyatta. I'm not sure how 10,000 DPI, 10 million DPI Zenyatta will
10
go,
million
but
DPI.
we'll see.
5,
Have fun.
Alright.
3,
All right, thank you guys. We're gonna move on here. 4th map here
Attackers incoming.
on King's Row. Here the Hive up 2-1 over Inglorious right. We see a little bit of a comp change here. Shinigami from that Mercy, moving on over to the Zen. And Kaya and Tash actually switching it up a little. Kaya now on the Hanzo, Tash on the Junkrat. We'll see how that plays out. And already the team fight happening right around the statue here. Stub getting a first pick off from Inglorious, or Stub already getting the pick off for the Hive here. Here on the attack already, so they're moving fast. And already getting the first pick here. Four players on this point. Not much happening here for Inglorious defensive-wise. They're not going to be able to push it as Shinigami dies by the hands of Dynamic, and that's going to allow them to get the first point with ease. Only 40 seconds into this play. So already the Hive are going to have plenty of time to push this up.
No sweat. That was well. Let's just say that Inglorious has to pick up their game. They cannot let people just walk on the point and cap it. That's basically what happened, just because one man was off. They needed to go for picks too, but they were just starving and doing nothing, so they have to step up their game.
Alright, and already here coming up, here comes the Hive with their own push, already coming around the first turn here on the first point of this payload. So it looks like Inglorious not doing anything right now, actually staggered. Here comes the jump, trying to get the end around here, see if they can get anything. Kill by Fun, by getting both MFKP and Tash, both on that Mora and that junk tire. So a great play. Dynamic also getting 2 kills of his own on Tiny and Steven, and also one more on Shinigami and Stub getting Kaya. So that's going to be pretty much a team kill, a team wipe, and that's going to allow the Hive to maybe push us all the way up to the point for point number 2. So no sweat already. Hive's got themselves in a good position to win this fast.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
That was actually a nice example of how our Junkrat turret should work while going above the building and not in a straight line. It's just a difference in the game sense, I would say.
Here comes the Earth Shatter with the Devo Ult. Very nice self-destruct. That's going to get Steven out of the way for Inglorious here. Stubb's also going to get a pick up on Dynamic, and Kaya's going to get herself a kill with the Dragon Strike on Fun, but still moving the payload here. The Hive's going to have themselves a good attack here, just a few more meters up. They've passed the last turn. It's up to them to get to the point, but nobody defending it here. They might have it with ease. Here comes the
nice
junk
rally.
now. Ash, we'll see if they get anything here. Chaster's going to have himself only 1 kill, but still Dynamic having himself the kill on Shinigami, so that gets rid of the Mercy for now. Still a lot of players. It's a 4v2 on point right now in favor of the Hive, so the Hive still has the numbers advantage coming into this. Tash gonna get himself a kill, but Fun does it the same way. The junk tire coming out on MFKP and Tash. That's gonna push it back. Shinigami not able to get the res, and that's gonna be at a quick play, a quick 3 points for the Hive, and it's up to Inglorious to try and reflect the same thing.
That was insane. That should not have happened. They just walked on the point, escorted the payload, boom, with 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Holy damn. That should not have happened. I wonder how they're gonna step up their game now, because they need to work quick, be fast, maybe go dive. I don't know.
All right, so Cajun, on your end, what did you see? What did you see there from Inglorious? And
You know, again, we go back to burst damage. I think burst damage is doing them very well. Junkrat tires, just throwing it out. At this level, it's tough for teams to stop a Junkrat tire, and it can open up so many opportunities. It can really open up paths. Now, with that being said, what was one of the key first picks that started the roll? It was the Widow on the Junkrat. Once they got their Junkrat out of the way, able to move in the first point, and then their Junkrat got set up and just rolled down through second and into the third stage. So, yeah, what do you do to kind of combat this? I wouldn't. I'd maybe bust out the fair at this point.
30 seconds.
So Inglorious now going to have to do a 3-0 as well, but usually in these kinds of maps, in these hybrids map, they start off with 4 minutes. We usually see the time go down. No, the Hive almost adds an additional minute to their time. So even if Inglorious was to push us all the way, the Hive's going to have a time advantage with 4:54 on the clock.
5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1.
They are going for.
Defend objective A.
Kaya on the Widowmaker. I haven't seen her on hit scan. Let's see what happens.
Kaya actually already taking damage back there, so she's gonna have to go back into the spawn area and try and heal up a little bit. In the meantime, still
Which she
a lot
didn't
of
do.
which she didn't do. She comes out actually with still that half health, now getting heals from Shinigami. In the meantime, still the Hive looking impressive, pushing out. Stub already gets the kill on Tiny, so that's one of the tanks down. Steven all out by himself as well. Stub's gonna have himself a double kill on Kaya as well, so the Widowmaker ship not working. Stub's just going off here. 1, 2, 3 in the kill feed right now. Stub's just playing it. No respect, playing dirty.
Right
Oh,
now,
Stub, please.
Just stop, please. Be kind.
Stop, just stop.
I will not waste this opportunity. Move back.
Well,
So let's see a team fight here already spread out here. 3 minutes left to go. We already saw Inglorious with their first push. Not successful as Stub just completely clears out the team, completely puts them in the dust stand. With Dynamic B already starting off the Hive as well. Now switching on over on that May, so we'll see how that impacts it as well. So the wall coming in the middle already. So that'll keep them out for a little while. Tash and Kaya with 2 kills.
Enemy contact.
Inglorious to push here. Here comes the tackle. Not getting anybody. Tiny in that point alone, but here comes Steven. Here comes Steven with their own push. Tash gonna get a kill with that Pharaoh, so that Pharaoh proving a little bit of a good use here. Coalescence coming out. The Dragon Strike coming out here. But I believe that's going to be from Stub right in the middle. Coalescence does get Steven in the process. No kills for Stub. There are McStokes getting a kill on Tiny. That gets rid of the tank for them. Actually, both tanks are out, and that's going to push back Inglorious a little bit, unless Tash can get some rocket kills here, which he won't be able to. Storm Arrow from Stub getting Tash, and that's going to push them out.
yeah,
I'm so surprised that Farah did not press Q there. I was waiting for it. She was in a perfect position, but she did not.
yes.
It was confusing. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking the Widow's got to go. You're not getting a lot of value. You're taking a lot of time. You get a pick here and there, but it's not consistent. And when you don't have consistent picks, your team can't really coordinate and push for you because the kills are coming just willy-nilly. So my suggestion for Inglorious is you need to move off the Widow, move into something a little bit more consistent. I would even say go for a Zen. You know, you're going to need some damage here. Go for that Zen. Get some discords on the center of the point and help your team out in these team fights.
And as you were saying, that Tiny with a huge Earth Shatter getting Dynamic out of play. So right now it's a 5-on-3 in favor of Inglorious. Here comes the Coalescence already from MFKP, who subbed in for Eco. So that's a huge change for Inglorious. And Earth Shatter as well. Only getting MFKP. That should be enough to kill the Moira needed for this fight here for Inglorious. So here comes the Graviton Strike, getting 2 people, and we're going to see a good follow-up here. A Blizzard as well from Dynamic, not getting anybody. Dragon Strike also coming in as well, so 2 ults not needed here from the team from the Hive, but it's good enough to push back Inglorious.
That was wasted. They had that with 1-2 ults. They already had that. I'm disappointed. You know, but this gives Inglorious a great chance because they have 3 ults now, so. With
They
all
have-
hacks
yep.
on.
Yep, and they have 3 with nothing coming for the Hive here. Here comes the
There
Rocket
you go,
Barrage.
there
There's
you
1, there's 2, there's 3.
There you go, that's
How the hell did you do that? A Rocket Barrage with 4 kills coming in. MFKP with the final kill. That's going to allow Inglorious to get it. The Barrage coming in clutch for Tash, and that's going to allow Inglorious, even in overtime, to get this point and the payload moving, but they're not going to have much time.
Now at this point, it's just standard. Stock up your ults and blow them off.
Yeah, that was definitely a misplay by the Hive, to be honest. They wasted so much ult there, which gave Inglorious the opportunity to capture the point.
Here comes the Earth Shatter. Two people, actually 3 people landing up there. Tiny's going to have himself a good Earth Shatter here, but is punished by a tackle with Hermes. So they're going to come around the turn here with that payload. 2 minutes left to go on the clock. We'll see if they can get the push here needed to get to that second point. They'll get additional time here, but it depends on how well they push here. Coalescence coming out here for MFKP. That may be huge, but a wall in for Dynamic, so that's going to be huge for them as well. The Earth Shatter, huge, getting 4 people. What an Earth Shatter! Dynamic gets the double kill already off of that Earth Shatter assist. Dynamic getting a 3rd one on Shinigami. MFKP, it's Steven. So no resist, no heals coming in for them. In Artisan and Hermes cleaning up the rest, and that's going to push Inglorious back. And the Hive with a great defense coming from Earthshatter, starting off with Hermes.
1 minute and about 20 seconds remaining. Inglorious has to step up the game. They're running out of time.
So they're running out of time, like you said. 1 minute left to go on this payload, and already all over it is the Hive, trying to push their way in. Tiny gets frozen for a little while, but that's not going to matter much. Here comes the Rocket Barrage. Not doing much for Tash, actually, with that damage boost. Coalescence coming up now. Coalescence coming up for an Artisan. A huge Blizzard. That's going to be 3 people inside that Blizzard. Self-destruct maybe going on. Steven is dead. Big Stokes with a good ult there for them as well, but the rest coming in for Shinigami on Kaya, rather. So they may have a Junkrat here, but we'll see how that affects them. Dynamic with a kill on Tiny, so that gets rid of the tank, so they're going to have to reset here. But they may not have time. Here comes more rockets in Artisan with a kill on Shinigami and Kaya, so that combo right there not working out for them. Kaya does get a kill on Dynamic, but Inglorious not having anything to push here. They're staggering so much, and a pause here, I don't know where that's from.
Me neither.
Yeah, unknown. All players are active.
Oh. Oh, it's a leave on the Inglorious side now.
No, it's a leave on the Hive side, actually, so...
Oh, Hive side, I mean.
Yeah, so Fun actually is gone. I don't know where... So... So, actually, this is funny because it's only been the red side that's disconnected so far. Kaya on the red side with Inglorious for the first 3 games. And now, on the blue side, no disconnects, but Hive getting their first disconnect with Fun. So, really a switch up of the teams, but if you're on the red, it seems like you're going to disconnect.
I love how Steven said, it's not like we didn't have a disconnect, so you can forfeit now.
Right.
I like the cheekiness.
And so while we're in a pause here, while we're trying to get back Fun for the Hive here, 27 seconds left on the clock. What does Inglorious need to do to try and push them off the point? Because right now they're 2 players down, and they don't have any ults coming into this next fight unless Steven can get his Graviton Surge going, as well as MFKP's Coalescence.
Give me some fucking cheeky ass kill. Someone needs to go on the flank and get an easy pick on the stuff. That's the only way.
You know what I say? Spray and pray, Kaya. Spray and pray.
Exactly.
Alright, well, the spray and pray is going to happen soon. We're back from the pause. 25 seconds left to go on this clock. Inglorious with 1 more push here. They're going to have to team up here and see if they can push this point here. Not a lot of time, though, so even if they were to push this point, they're still going to be in overtime, and they'll only have 1 chance to push it all. Coalescence, rather, coming out for MFKP early on. Here comes the Junk Tire coming out. And that's going to get no one in that case. Graviton Surge huge coming in. Not getting 2 people, but is anybody going to follow up? Tiny's going to follow up with 2 tackles. In Artisan in the backfield, though, with that Coalescence. Grabbing 3 kills of his own on Shinigami Kaya and MFKP.
That was a huge mistiming.
So 2v2 now right here on this point. And Shinigami as well as his... How that plays out here on the stagger, it's going to be Inglorious that's going to get back here on time because they're closer to the point. But still trying to get around this first turn. They're having a little bit of trouble getting around this first turn here. Another backfield play here by Inartisan, but he's going to get punished from it from Kaya. So in overtime mode, 6 people on this point, but they're still pushing it. They only have 1 chance to try and push this all the way through.
They work together and engage way too late. They always do it way too late.
Oh, and here comes the Earthshatter. McStokes is down with that D.Va. He's going to get D-Mexed out of that MFKP. Here comes the Dragon Strike. Where's that coming from? Right down the middle, right on the payload. He knows that he has to get them off the payload, but still nobody dying from that, so a great play here. Kaya still in this right now with that Junkrat helping out. Winston in the background from Dynamic. A Junk Tire being played. Is that going to get anyone with Kaya? Junk Tire, I don't see it yet. I don't think it has. The self-destruct coming out, is that going to get anybody? That gets Steven, though. Only 1 kill, so still a lot of players for Inglorious on the board right now. Shinigami is going to revive Steven, so that's 1 of their tanks back. And still no mercy on the Hive side, so they may have a little bit of trouble healing here as we get into the final points, and they survive overtime. 1.5 minutes left to go. Inglorious, that's point number 2.
Reinhardt kind of overextending, going all to the enemy's base. Tiny, what are you doing? Get
overextending here, actually going all the way up, trying to push them out. But that allows Inglorious to push around the first turn, maybe getting around the second turn as well. But it's the Hive that's going to come up here with their first push on the defense here on the third point.
60 seconds.
Launching up a little bit of coalescence, and here comes an artist, but is completely denied by Tiny on his Earth Shatter. And Fun ends Kaya's Fun over there, but a great ult by Tiny to disrupt anything that an Artisan was giving. Sub's got the headshot on Shinigami though, so it will be a little bit of a push. Here comes the Graviton Surge by Inglorious. Can anybody follow up? There's a lot of kills. MFKP, Tash, and Tiny with that push there. Tiny with a push up there, trying to get the Moira from an Artisan. He's gonna push it back all the way. Does punish him though, so it's a good push here. 26 seconds left to go on the clock. They are so close to getting the third point, which none of us expected really to get here, but they're now 4 meters away from getting this. Here comes the coalescence from MKP. He gets 1 kill on Dynamic. That's a Here comes the junk tire though. Is that gonna get anywhere around? And it's gonna get a triple kill from Fun. How about that?
Fun shows you the way.
Or sorry, Dash, MKP, and Shinigami all go down by the junk tire of Fun. They're gonna clear out the point. 1.81 meters left. It would be heartbreak. Overtime, this happened. Nobody on the point. It's Heartbreak City, but the kings of the row are the Hive, and they're gonna win 3-1 in this set. Kings of the row and kings of this series, the Hive swarm all over, and they win 3. And Fun getting the play of the game, and I cannot imagine this not being the triple junk tire here right at the end. See if that is it. And it is it right here. Triple kill on the junk tire here. Perfect timing with that bubble going down. So the Hive winning this. The Hive winning this final battle 3-2 here on Kings Row, winning the set 3-1. So a great play by Fun there and having some fun right at the end. So we're gonna bring in our two analysts now here, Lindare and Rian, as get all the casters' idea on this. So a 3-1 fight. We saw the Hive go push it all the way through with 4:54 left on this clock, but Inglorious also had a good push on their own, but they just didn't have enough time with that overtime. So what did you guys think about that final game?
It was a stomping. It was not close. Even though they got close to finishing it, was not a close game.
The Inglorious on defense, I'm not actually too sure what they were doing. They just walked off the point. And they just held S the entire game when you're supposed to be pressing W. So yeah, that's why they lost. Really, that's it. Press W.
In my opinion, they were just engaging so late every single time. It was frustrating to watch because all the points they gotten it like on the last seconds, which is why they didn't cap the third point because they were just too late. Time runs out, you know. Clock's ticking.
Yeah, I think there's another reason why they lost. There's on average there's a little bit over a 300 SR differential in individual players from team to team, and they sub off their highest rated player for Amora, and they'd sub off their best player, their best CPS for Amora. And you're kind of putting yourself in a weird position where now you're probably around 400 SR different to the other team. And I think just individually, Inglorious was outmatched by miles. And, you know, if you're not going to be a very good, solid, communicative team, then you can't afford to be individually outmatched like that. And I think that's what ended up getting him.
So I have a question for you guys now. Coming into this final game, all 4 are said and done. The Hive gets game number 1, or gets games 2, 3, and 4. Inglorious starts off well, but doesn't succeed in getting any of the last 3 maps there. But a good question for you guys: who individually is your guys' player of the game for both sides? I would say.
Stub, right? He got 2 kills.
Stub for
was
Hive.
pretty good, but
I mean, yeah.
I think inconsistency from both sides was the biggest thing. I think Fun again was probably the most consistent just off of ults. You know, you might not always get like tons of like poggers, like just normal player or whatever, but his ults, he always gets fat case, always. And it's just, you know, the team was just thriving off that. I think Fun again should take this one.
And actually, we know earlier that we saw in chat that Inglorious playing for their first time together here against the Hive. So I mean, a good matchup to play against and a really tough team. But in the future, what does Inglorious need to do to try and make a better team comp or try and win some more games off of this?
Ults.
Communicate.
Coordinate your ults.
Communicate.
Just coordinate your ults. So many
Not just
times.
pressing Q, but pressing Q at the right time.
They
Pressing
need
Q,
to get
coordinating.
Tiny though on the same page as everyone else. What he would do is he'd play hyper aggressive, and that's an issue because what happens is when you're over here charging and everything, your team just lost their wall, especially in a map like King's Row where there's nowhere to go. You guys are just down a straight corridor. If you do not have your wall in front of you, then you're just free game to the enemy team, especially because Hermes, in my opinion, is probably the best in the lobby. And he's the main tank, just sitting there doing the little simple things. And at first I was impressed with Tiny, because Tiny has his moments, but there are a lot of times where he just makes bad plays. And I think if they get him on the same page, get him to just do the little simple things and not try to beat, a hero, then I think they got it.
Right. Now, for me, and I'm sorry the name escapes me. I need to write this down. But the Pharah player for Inglorious kept them in fights that rightfully they should not have been kept in. So he was making big plays and little plays throughout
Wasn't
the
it-
series.
Ikao or something?
Yeah, they
Nicole
subbed
was the
him off
Pharah,
for
yep.
Mara. Yeah. So I'm not
And so-
sure why, but
Yeah, and so we noticed this earlier. MFKP coming in as a sub for Eco. So how much of it? And we saw a huge impact. So what really changed the game for Inglorious coming into that final fight with MFKP in instead of Eco?
I mean, you lose your best DPS, and a lot of people go and point fingers at the tracer slash widow kind of players, obviously the carry kind of thing. But then you have players who are your flex DPS, like your Pharah players and stuff like that. Players who can play Genji, Pharah, etc. are the easy carry, especially when it's your highest rated player. I think Mora is great on that map. Mora is easily the best support on that map. But to sub off your best player for Mara is just, I don't know why you do. I think that's what changed the game completely for that. I think that's why they just got stomped. I mean, to be honest, Hive just went in hot and just rolled them, but I think that was probably the biggest thing.
All right. So anybody got any final thoughts on this game, or are we gonna wrap it up here?
Well, actually, I'd like to segue in here with the fact that we have Dynamics be the Hive player in the chat right now.
Oh yes, we do. Hi, Dynamics.
What's up?
Sorry. So great job to your team. A double header for you guys against Inglorious and Havoc. So what did you guys do in between games to try and prep yourselves for the second game?
We joked around because we didn't want to be super stressed going into the second game, and just said in the end that SR doesn't matter and it's all teamwork.
All right, cool. And actually, a lot of and the teamwork actually working out really well here. And for you guys as well, talk to us about those ults from both Fun and you had Fun going off there. You also had Stub going off there. So what would you guys say was your highlight from those 4 games?
I'd say that Fun is always you can always count on him in situations where you think you might lose. On Hollywood, on the map with Havoc before, and then today, in this game with Inglorious, he always came back in those situations where we thought we might have to do another round or we might lose. He always got those awesome ultimates. And then the teamwork, we've been playing together for a while, so yeah.
And yeah, actually, so you guys come in, win 1-0. Start off 1-0 to start off on Lijiang. Then Inglorious comes in and wins 2-1. So what adjustments did you guys have to make coming into the final 3 games?
Every time that we go into our first game, first of all, control isn't really our strong suit, to be honest. But then every time we go into that first game, we're kind of cold from the off time. And so as we warm up, and this has been kind of the same for all the games that we've played, it's just that as we warm up, we get more gelled together as a team, and our communication gets better, etc.
All right. Well, any of the colors or the casters or colors or analysts got their questions? Because I got nothing.
Well, when you first started this match, you're going in. You probably didn't have a big understanding of what Inglorious was going to bring you. Were you surprised? You just went through a hard-fought win, right? So you're warmed up, you're focused, you're kind of coming in, and Inglorious kind of wins that first map. What's going through your mind at that point? Are you kind of talking to your team, hey, we got this, we just need to settle down, or what's happening here? What we're trying to execute and it's not working? What was running through your mind at that point?
I'd say that's kind of half and half. You got this, we've got calm down, it's gotta be in victory, we got this. But then also we realized what the main driving force of their win was, and that was their offensive Reinhardt play. Our Reinhardt Hermes is really defensive, and so we ended up just playing to completely focus down their offensive Reinhardt. It's really what we talked about between those first and second games.
And it's good you mentioned that. We on this side were mentioning that their Ryan was being, overly aggressive at the wrong times. It's good to have aggression, but you got to use it at the right time. And if you use it at the wrong time and you get focused, you can take a big chunk of your team's defense out of place. So it sounded like you identified your win condition early on and then went on to, another 3-2 hard-fought victory here. So you're feeling pretty good about your team as you roll into, I think, for this little Season 3 for OWC here, I think you've completed your 3 matches already.
Yeah. We have lost a total of 2 maps, tied 1, and then won the rest of them.
You're going to be standing at top of the standings,
Hopefully.
the Hive. So hats off to you guys. You did a great job tonight.
Thank you. Thanks.
And congratulations, of course.
And winning in doubleheader as some of us do. So does anybody have any more on the floor, or?
Let's just wrap it up.
All right, let's just wrap it out. So thank you to Dynamics B for joining us here, and that's going to wrap up our cast here. Thanks to Cajun, Wise Guy, and Flaming Potato on the color, and Linder and Rian on the analyst side. So the Hive coming out in a doubleheader, winning their first game 3-1, and swarming in for the second game in also 3-1 against Inglorious. Congratulations to the Hive in their match. That'll do it for us. My name's Klutchki, and we will see you guys later.
Pog.
Champ.